So you go ahead, right? Practice makes perfect. You have to go into it and try and communicate with people that you expect nothing back from, right? So you're not actually trying to get this person's number, or you're not necessarily trying to go ahead and build a long-term friendship with this person, right? You're just going in and practicing, trying to have a back and forth, a conversation with somebody. That's, I mean, practice makes perfect. You know what I'm saying? You start to learn how to read social cues, body language, things like that. The more that you go on ahead and you practice it, you start to develop those skills, and then you know what I'm saying. You branch out further, and the little your little circle gets wider.
Okay. Here's what I was gonna tell them. Women really don't got shit to talk about, fellas. Here's the thing about approaching women. She bland as hell, most likely, right? Her aesthetic is the thing that you probably there for in the first place. Understand that if that's a trait you focused on, that's probably the most developed trait she got. Make sure you curate an environment that you comfortable in. You find you a bar or a lounge or something that you go to every day, all the time, right? So now when you see women in there, well, guess what? You know the DJ, you know the security guard, you know the bartender. You see? So since you got to do the approaching, at least put yourself in a place where you got an advantage, where you could dap hands with the bartender. Because women actually acknowledge cachet. They actually acknowledge when you know a couple people. You understand? They don't have nothing to talk about, and nobody want to hear about robotics either. Now this is where it gets tough, because you're gonna have to lead that conversation, because you don't want to talk about the shit she want to talk about either. So now this, what do I tell them?
Not to be socially awkward.
All right, I need y'all help. Okay, I'm having a discussion with several nerds later on this week, so don't be himself. Okay, check.
No. Sorry? Socially awkward is not. No, they
How
could
do you
fix
teach
that.
somebody that?
I mean, you could just show them how to talk without getting nervous. It's social anxiety. It's a whole bunch of stuff going on.
I can show them. I can be like, hey, don't get nervous, brother.
Yeah, you gotta understand why they're getting nervous. So it could be a lot of things. So you just it's a lot to it. So, but
I
you can
know.
teach them how to not be socially awkward.
Okay, well, one, I need to tell them. So I need to do it like AA, okay? So is the first step to tell them, listen, they don't like y'all.
Mm-mm.
Huh? Don't talk
I
at
don't think
once.
I don't think you should tell them that. I think you should tell them to continue being themselves. And whoever's gonna like you is gonna like you, and go to where you're respected and love, rather than where you just discarded
Great
and
and not
talked about.
tolerated. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
No.
don't tell them to change themselves. If they socially awkward, they socially awkward. Like, there's other people that are also socially awkward, and they could click like that. That could be a bonding mechanism for them. Like, they both socially awkward, and like they bond. They grow and become more social because they're together. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't tell them that.
Well, that's the first
Well,
step to recovery, is not being
They don't have
socially
nothing to
awkward and being
recover
social.
from. They don't have nothing to recover from, is what I'm saying.
yes,
Well, they
yes,
do.
they do.
Because you said they get together and they become more social. Step
No, I'm
one.
talking about, like, if two people are socially awkward and they come together and like are together in a relationship, they can grow and become more social outwardly just from being together. That's something that they can work on together, or like not even work on, but like that's something that if that ends up happening, that just ends up happening. I don't think I don't think being a nerd is something you have to recover from. Like, it's okay. There's
No, you
nothing.
can
I
be
don't think
a
I don't think there's anything wrong with it, to be honest. Like,
no, you can be a nerd and not be socially awkward. I
Yes.
went to a whole nerd school,
you don't have
and
to
we
be
were
socially
social.
awkward, but if you are, it's okay. Not
No, not
everybody's the
No, but how
brightest.
do you
socially.
meet somebody if you're socially awkward?
Well, I can say so.
Are
My
they
husband and
socially
I,
awkward?
well, my husband was a bit socially awkward, and what I mean by awkward is that he's not outgoing. He doesn't really talk to a lot of people. He kind of stays to himself. He rarely speaks, but I'm the outgoing one. I'm like, hey, what's up, everybody? So, eventually, when y'all come together, your qualities they don't completely turn into another person, but you kind of rub on each other. So he may not be the one who's always speaking to everyone or talking to everyone, but starting off, I would introduce like, hi, this is my boyfriend or husband, eventually be my husband. This is my husband, this is so and so. And then over time, again, he's still not the most outgoing person, but he holds conversations. He does surveillance across the room. Like it's okay because he is who he is, and I'd rather him be that than the player, the smooth operator, the one who can just talk to everyone and have all the girls smiling. I don't want that type of man.
But
I'm
Coco,
fine with
No,
him.
no,
but
that's
Coco, I
not
have
socially
hold on.
awkward. That's somebody who's not that social. That's not being like when they are social,
That's
they're
what I'm
awkward. That's not
Like,
socially
have
awkward.
you
Being an introvert is not socially awkward.
like Coco too? That's a good point, Callie. But Coco, how long you been married? I want to say something. How long you been married?
It'll be 16 years in September.
Okay, and you have health coach on your title. How long you been a health coach?
2011,
Okay,
15 years,
so
yeah.
you may have discovered that you wanted to be a health coach, at a certain point. You're different. You would look at him and not look at like, oh, I don't want to be with him because he's socially awkward. You might not look at him like that because look at your title, you're a health coach. But there are women out here that would not. Like socially awkward is actually a disorder. Okay. So you don't want, I think socially, anyone that's like that needs to learn not to be like that. It doesn't have to be to the extreme where they're super outgoing. No. But you got to get out of that phase because it's hard just to have conversations, not just with women, but with anybody, unless they're really close to them. I'm pretty sure they have close friends or like family members they could talk to. But that's Hamp. Back to it. You got to tell them not to be socially awkward. I'm not letting my foot off of that. They could be
But
themselves.
how?
They
being
could be
socially
themselves.
awkward is not a disorder.
Yes, it is.
That's outrageous.
No, it
It's
goes in a line of social anxiety. It's
think
the
about this.
That might be a disorder, but being socially awkward is not a disorder.
Yo, but think about this, Di. You're saying it's a disorder, and you're telling me to tell them not to be that.
no, just to give them information. They could go obviously and get professional help.
Professional help.
I'm
Yes,
I'm the guy
Is
they
that
call.
deep?
it is that deep. Yes,
What
yes.
is
They like niche things. Is that
I'm
deep? They have to.
Maybe you've never seen a
I'm
socially awkward
slow. Like
person before.
when we say socially awkward, meaning like tripping and falling in front of people, like
That's what I'm
stuttering, like
saying.
what
Like they get so nervous that they start sweating and you can't, they're not gonna just come
That's
up to you
out.
and have a conversation. Like it's hard for them to do that. There are people that's like that. So I'm saying, yes, you could be awkward. Shit, I'm awkward. But it's a certain level to this. Like you cannot, because you're not gonna be able to have a good, like a decent relationship if you can't communicate and you're nervous to talk. Like I said, that's not how that should go.
Does nervous to talk mean not don't talk at all? Like I could be a little nervous to talk, but at least if I'm talking, that's better than me not talking, right? Like
I would have to find, okay, there's no
Yeah,
good.
like give a scenario. Because see, I'm around some IT folks for the work that I do, and they're just a bit like timid. They're really excited about like the different outputs and things like that. I mean, they're not the life of the party. They're not socially inept. They're just kind of like, and if you're kind to them, they come out of their shell. I don't know. I don't know. Like I think y'all are. It sounds like y'all talking about a mentally
challenged,
handicapped
disabled
I'm
person.
not.
person.
I'm not. But how about this? All right, I'll just take that out. Just I would say to teach them how to, I guess I don't know if it's approaching women and having to hold a conversation, regardless of I guess the outcome, but to not be nervous about that. Because in order to date women, you got to either go up to them if they're not coming up to you, you got to go up to them and proceed and have this conversation. And I'm saying that there's a lot of nerds that don't do that. They could be a good man all day long, but we wouldn't know because they don't come up to women most of the time. I'm saying a majority of the time, it's not happening. Unless they are working with you, they see you, they get to know you that way. But they're not just gonna come up to a girl because they think that she looks good. So
They
teach
have
them
to.
how to go ahead.
I'm sorry, Di. Go ahead.
That's it.
No, I think the nerds have to go up to girl. I think for most nerds, what's going to work with them is that they have a friendship with a bubbly, sweet person with a good heart, and then she grows on him, and then they, get married and have nerd babies. I don't know. It's just they're not going to be the
Sounds like a
type.
Disney movie.
But I'm just saying, they're for them, since they are not the outgoing type, it's going to be more relationships are going to come out of friendships, like them knowing someone for a while, or them working with someone, and then a relationship balloons because typically the girl's not going to see them as that guy, but getting to know him, if she's smart and he's a good man, she's like, you know what, he's not really my type, but he's, he's different. I need to switch my mindset about what I think a good man is or a man to date is. Again, I go back to what Kelly Rowland said. Kelly Rowland is beautiful, and she said she had to switch her perception of what a good man is for her to find her husband. And if you see her husband, he's not the typical fine man, but she calls him Superman because if she didn't change her mentality, she wouldn't end up with him.
Sensational.
Put
How
it
do
like
you
this,
get to
Ham.
know someone if you can't hold a conversation because you're socially awkward?
Socially awkward to me doesn't mean that you can't hold a conversation with someone. That just means in social situations, like environments, you may kind of be, you may not be the best in conversation, but on one, you could be okay.
No, I'm talking about one-on-one. You talking about groups. We talking about dating women. That's what Hamp is talking about, right? To talk to a lady that they see, they find attractive or however, that goes. To talk to that lady, if you're socially awkward, it's gonna be very hard for you to literally go up and approach this person. So I'm saying as an improvement, and I'll use me for an example. I'm married too, right? I did not just get married without no improvement. Like that don't even sound right. Like I'm just perfect. You know what? I'm wife material and yeah, he gonna like me. No, I had to change some stuff. So I'm just being realistic. That's a trait, and it's not that's himself. It's not, I wouldn't say that's a character that he just grew like was born like that. No. Sometimes it's because of the parents too. Like there's parents that don't even put their kids in actual activities besides schooling. They go home, do their work, and that's it. Of course, they're gonna be socially awkward because they're not getting pushed to challenge themselves, to have these conversations on a daily basis besides going to class. So some of it is the parents' fault. I wouldn't say they was born like that, and that's what nerds do. That's not true. But as an improvement, it's just an improvement. I'm not saying that they're terrible. I'm just saying an improvement that a man should have. I mean, we talking about nerds. I'm sorry.
Any other suggestions? Based on what I'm hearing, man, they can't be themselves because they're awkward. I mean, y'all basically tell them get a dog. I mean,
No, you can be yourself, right? You still hold your interests. You still, have your hobbies and things like that. You're still you. You just know how to communicate better. That's it.
it's not. See, y'all doing the thing that we sick and tired of the old heads doing. Oh, just put on cologne. Just put yourself out there. Just shoot your shot. It's not tangible. Like Callie, you did this. That's it. Are you shitting me? Do you think that communication is just easy to develop, especially at an
No,
older
practice.
age? Like what? Like what? Like y'all just saying, like kind of like nothing. Like I can't. So I got to teach this class, right? I got you guys here to help me with this class. All I got is
Mhm.
gooddog.com. Fucking with y'all.
No, so you go ahead, right? Practice makes perfect. You
Yeah.
have to go into it and try and communicate with people that you expect nothing back from, right? So you're not actually trying to get this person's number, or you're not necessarily trying to go ahead and build a long-term friendship with this person, right? You're just going in and practicing, trying to have a back and forth, a conversation with somebody. That's, I mean, practice makes perfect. You know what I'm saying? You start to learn how to read social cues, body language, things like that. The more that you go on ahead and you practice it, you start to develop those skills. And then, you know what I'm saying? You branch out further and your little circle gets wider.
Okay. Here's what I was gonna tell them. Women really don't got shit to talk about, fellas. Here's the thing about approaching women. She bland as hell, most likely, right? Her aesthetic is the thing that you probably there for in the first place. Understand that if that's the trait you focused on, that's probably the most developed trait she got. Make sure you curate an environment that you comfortable in. You find you a bar or a lounge or something that you go to every day, all the time, right? So now when you see women in there, well, guess what? You know the DJ. You know the security guard. You know the bartender. You see? So since you got to do the approaching, at least put yourself in a place where you got an advantage, where you could dap hands with the bartender, because women actually acknowledge cachet. They actually acknowledge when you know a couple people. You understand? They don't have nothing to talk about, and nobody want to hear about robotics either. Now, this is where it gets tough, because you're going to have to lead that conversation, because you don't want to talk about the shit she want to talk about either. What do y'all think now that we here? Okay, boom, we here. What does he engage her about? Can y'all assist me with that part?
I think they should try to find something that they can come to like a common ground on.
Like what,
Like-
Aaliyah? Good God. See what I said, fellas? They don't know.
You gotta have conversation starters.
She
Hamp.
shrugged.
Come up.
She shrugged. Go ahead, Don. Let me hear this.
No, you gotta come up with conversation starters. So you should come up with like 10 questions that can lead on to conversation. You're like, what?
So like, okay, so like if you guys are both on social,
Hold on.
So like
Callie,
if you got,
don't try to pose Lady Di no bail. What's the 10 questions? Go ahead. Let me talk. Go ahead. Go ahead, Di. Talking shit.
I mean, common. This is common and basic, but you know, did you like your childhood? How did you grow up? Like stuff like
On the
that.
first date?
Yes.
In the
what
middle
you
of the
waiting
bar?
for?
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop.
Oh, you said at the bar?
So they
They said
come
at the
from
bar.
foster
Sorry, not the
care.
bar.
They come from
Not at the
foster
bar.
care. You say, yo, what's your life like?
How was your upbringing?
Okay,
So where
so
you-
like the first time they talking
Said no.
apart. Well, you know the questions, Hamp. Come on, you know how to talk to ladies. So give them those questions. You got to tell them this. That's what I'm saying. They may not know because they don't have the practice. Who said that experience? So you have to give them these conversation starters when they're first approaching women.
Okay, what are
Gotta
they?
give it-
I got them to the door. So the brothers agree with my like situational thing. So now, boom, we here. Now I got 5 TB determined qualified women on this panel. All right, the jury's still out on y'all.
Oh.
What are the questions?
Okay, so
Hold on, bailiff. Doc, what's the questions?
So when you first approach a lady, of course, hi, what's your name? My name is this. I like that you give a compliment. I like what either the clothes or the hair. Always compliment the face, the hair, and the clothes.
All of it?
Not all of it, but you got to make sure you compliment her face. And then what else after that?
Say it. How does it sound?
You look pretty. I like your smile. Wow, is that a dimple? That's cute. I don't know. Something like that. Because you want to make sure that she know. Or you want to make sure that she knows that you actually like her. You gotta make sure she knows that. Okay, cool. Now you got her attention. Then you say, why are you making me do this? I'm just telling you,
No,
like,
I'm just
no, you married.
Oh. Okay, go ahead. Attorney Bev, go ahead.
okay, so it's where are you from? Are you you know what I'm saying? Well, are you a native here? Where are you from? What is it like where you're from? Right? You can kind of exchange ideas based off of that, right? Then you can expound further because this is a date, right? You've already picked her up, or this is like a cold approach type thing.
Yeah, you in the bar, but it's your bar, right? So we're gonna take my part of the advice with that part. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is a stranger. You're not taking her on no date, nothing like that.
It's a stranger, yeah.
Okay, so yeah. Are you from? Do you frequent here? Are you from here? If not, where are you actually from? What is it like there? Like, what's the scene out that way? You know what I'm saying? What do you like about out that way versus what do you like about here? If they're not a native.
I don't like too many questions. Like, I feel like if somebody asking me like a lot of questions back to back, I'm gonna feel like we in an interrogation or something.
No, it's not.
Well, see, if she's not engaging in the conversation, and you cut that shit and you go on ahead and you move on. If she's giving you one word answers, she's not interested. It's time to move on.
It's
And
supposed to lead into conversations. Like, it's supposed to like build up. So you start off with that, then she should say something back, and you keep going back and forth until that conversation dies, and then you move on to the next thing or whatever.
Right. But like, yeah, that's part of the socially awkward part is if she's giving you one word answers and you going down your bullet list asking questions. That's the socially awkward part. You ain't picked up on no kind of body signals, cues, social cues, none of that shit. You ain't picked up on none of that. You just going down your bullet list of questions to ask, like you got it on your phone or something. You scroll it.
Caressa, anything?
Honestly, it sounds like if the woman is doing all of that on the first date, I don't know. It's too much. Like if he has to go through all of that just to engage her, like she's not interested. Just leave it alone. Keep it moving.
I see Coco left just in time because she don't know what to do either. Aaliyah, what you say again? Y'all in there
I don't even remember.
Exactly.
I don't even remember.
Fellas.
Hamp, you know how it works, okay? I had a whole conversation with two strangers at the daggone bar.
Fellas, that is different though.
Come on
Not
now.
when you trying to get access though. Yo, fellas.
I
Ask her
know.
what she
I got
likes. I
something.
don't know.
I know.
Well,
Okay,
that's
well,
where
let
the
me just say
practice
this real
comes in
quick.
because I wasn't looking for anything from them dudes. I was just chatting.
Yeah, this ain't what that is, right? And see, that's what. Hey, fellas, I know y'all thinking right now, Hamp. This was an exercise in futility, but it was strategic, fellas. They don't know shit, bro.
That's not true.
They don't know what it's like, bro.
Man, please. Hey, Hamp,
Let me finish. I'll let y'all finish. They have no clue, bro. Don't. Don't
You're
be.
right, Ham, because
I'm talking to the fellas right now. I'm talking to the fellas right now.
Isn't that show rated as...
They are just as awkward as you, bro. They don't got nothing to talk about either, bro.
I concede.
She just as nervous in that interaction. You heard? Don't be nervous, baby. See, that's how I'm gonna teach the class. I'm gonna show them this clip and show that y'all don't know what the fuck to do either.
That's fine.
And the reason why you could be yourself, beloved, is because her being herself ain't much better.